One of the happiest days of the year for me. Today I've been receiving texts and calls from around the world from devotees who are celebrating what we're all celebrating around the world, which is Bhadra Purnima. And Bhadra Purnima is mentioned in the Srimad-Bhagavatam in the 12th canto. It's a verse which says that when one gives the gift of Srimad-Bhagavatam on the full moon day in the month of Bhadra, then the giver in return receives the gift of going to the supreme destination. This is not to be taken lightly because it's directly from the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So to give context for today's gathering, it is a time when devotees will be filtering in from work to come and give their Bhagavatam sets or receive them on this day. Or also, there are quite a few people that called us and said they felt that they weren't given enough time to sponsor because they wanted to sponsor more sets, especially on this day, that would be distributed. So there'll be some of that also. So if any of you are here for the first time, these are some of the activities that will be taking place between now and 8 o'clock. And first, I'd like to offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master and the founder, Acharya, of the International Site for Krishna Consciousness, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And I also offer my deepest respects to all the assembled devotees. Vancha kalpatarupascha, kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And today, when I was speaking to some of the devotees who are leaders in distribution of Srimad-Bhagavatam in it, that they also leaders of a community, they had mentioned that a woman had recently found out about Bhadra Purnima and had picked up a set for herself and for her family. And when she put the set of Bhagavatams in their home, she mentioned that she felt as if there was a Bhagavat Sapta going on in her home. For those of you who don't know that phrase, there's a tradition in India that people will set up a festival-like atmosphere. There's a stage and someone will come and speak on Bhagavatam for 7 days. It's a kind of imitation of what the Bhagavatam's, the premise of the Bhagavatam is, which is that Parikshit Maharaj, the emperor of the world at the time, had been cursed by a young Brahmin boy. It was a whimsical curse and could have been counteracted, but he chose, did Parikshit Maharaj, not to counteract it, but to accept the curse, which was that he would die in 7 days. So in the last 7 days of his life, he had renounced his kingly implements and put on simple dress, and he had gone to the bank of the Ganges, where many sages go to hear about spiritual knowledge. And there he was in search of a teacher. Many sages and others from various backgrounds came knowing that the emperor was going to leave the world, and everyone wanted to give their advice. It's big news when a political head of a state or a country, what to speak of the world, has made a proclamation that I'll be leaving the world in 7 days. Of course, it's a big event when anybody does, but what to speak of the head of an empire. And in the crowds of people who came there, there were many opinions amongst those who gathered. And then the sage Sukadeva, who is mentioned at the very beginning of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, at this third verse, second and third verses of the second chapter of the Bhagavatam, Yam pravajantam anupetam apetakritam dvaipayano viraha kartara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo binedustam sarva bhuta hridayamunam anatosvi yaswanubhavam akila shuti saramekam adhyatma deepam atirshatam tamundam samsarinam kanunayaha purana guyantam vyasasunam upayami guru muninam. Recounting Sukadeva Goswami's beginnings, he's a son of Srila Vyasadeva, and Srila Vyasadeva, Vyas means the editor, the one who compiles the Vedas. They're eternal, but they need organization so they can get out to the world. And Vyasa also gives commentary or divides the Vedas, and some of the commentaries are the Vedanta Sutra, which is a summary of the Upanishads, which are a summary of the Vedas, and then a natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad-Bhagavatam, which comes about because of the revelation of Vyasadeva. That's all mentioned in the Srimad-Bhagavatam itself. He had, as an empowered representative of the Lord called the literary incarnation, compiled all of what I just mentioned above. And then he had also compiled what is called the Bhagavata Purana. But when he met his guru, who was Narada, his guru told him that you blew it. You've given so many loopholes for people and not enough clear knowledge about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because of that, the people will be, it's a disservice to the people of the world. And therefore, he said, he sent him back. And through revelation, Srila Vyasadeva in his cottage had been able to envision the pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when he came out of his samadhi, he spoke the Srimad-Bhagavatam, and this is called Samadhi Bhashya. He had very clear revelation, and he wrote it down. That became the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So after his son was born, and out of a sense of detachment from the world, had left home, apeta krityam. He didn't want anything to do with school, what to speak of junior college and university or sacred thread ceremony. He was completely detached, no recital. He didn't care for anything in this world at all. In fact, he didn't even want to come out of the womb. Welcome, Prabhus. Thank you very much for coming. Hare Krishna. His father, Vyasadeva, had sent students of his to the forest to recite verses like Aho Bhakiyam Stanakalakutam Jagam Saya Payat Apyasadvi, recounting the sweet nature of Krishna and his pastimes in Vrindavan. And upon hearing the sound vibration of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, Sukadeva, who was completely detached from the material world, noticed that he was attached to that sound vibration. And this is one of the main themes of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, Atmaramash Chamunayo Nigranta Apyurukrame. This is a key verse in describing that hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam is otherworldly. Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo is described, it's not from this creation at all. That's why Sukadeva was attracted to it, because he had turned away from the material world altogether, categorically. However, when he heard Srimad-Bhagavatam, it attracted him. There was a vilas, or a pleasure he was gaining from that. So, this is the nature of Srimad-Bhagavatam as mentioned. When Sukadeva Goswami then had imbibed the Srimad-Bhagavatam from his father, after having been attracted and coming back to learn from his father the Srimad-Bhagavatam, he then, as described, yam pravajantam anupetam petakritam, what's the next verse? Yaswanubhavam akila shuti saramekam adhyatmadipam atitirshatam tamodinam samsarinam karuna yaha. So out of the sense of karunya, of compassion, and for those, he wanted to give the knowledge of the Bhagavatam to those who would be eager to cross beyond the darkness of the material world. And it was the very means of conquest. We find a parallel here with the founding of this movement, as we see in the diaries of, Hare Krishna Bhagavat Prabhu, welcome back. Thank you very much for coming back to ISV. Hare Krishna. Did you bring your illustrious wife with you?
Yes, she'll be in shortly.
Okay. I think she just came in. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. And it also, two sages had also come in earlier. We'd like to acknowledge them and welcome them to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sukadeva, in his so-called wanderings, with no other motive except for giving the Bhagavatam to others, had come across the assembly, Maharaj Parikshit at the Ganges, and the parallel with Srila Prabhupada was that although he had some idea of his mission, it was general, and that was go to the West and preach Krishna consciousness, an instruction that was given to him by his guru years and years before. In fact, we had just compiled a video this morning, and at the very end, Anukul Seva Prabhu, I think, who stayed up all night making that video, was able to extract one of Prabhupada's sentences at the very end where he said, I was 7 years old, better late than never, at the very end. And so there's almost this sense of going off into the great unknown. Not a sense of it, it was definitely going off into the great unknown, except for he had a clear mission, which was to distribute Srimad-Bhagavatam, which he wrote about on the Jaladuta itself. How helpful is that to write down, that Prabhupada wrote down his realizations and his feelings while he was on the Jaladuta. And in one of the essays that he had penned there on the ship, he quotes a paragraph from the first canto, second chapter, which begins with Shushusho Sharadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahat Sevayabi Prapunya Tirtana Shevana Shinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantaksto Bhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam Nashtapraishu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyutama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kamalo Badayasche Chete Teranavidam Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogata Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana Mukta Sangha Sajayate Vidite Hridaya Grantish Chijante Sarva Samshaya Shiyante Chasikarmani Drishta Eva Manishvare. So this paragraph describes how it's following up on Tato Jayam Udirayat, that the Srimad-Bhagavatam, as is declared in the verse Narayanam Namaskritya, which comes earlier in the chapter and ends with Tato Jayam Udirayat. This is our very means of conquest over birth and death. And Prabhupada writes on the Jaladuta how, paraphrasing this paragraph, that by serving great souls, it begins. One develops an affinity for hearing the topics of Krishna, Krishna Katha. And then by hearing Krishna Katha, Krishna, who's within the heart of every living being, resonates with the hearer and acts as vidhunoti, the purifier of the heart. He helps to sort out what's important from what's not. The anarthas are what's as Prabhupada says, the unnecessary necessities. Those are winnowed out by the grace of Krishna from hearing. And then progress, the hearer will notice progress in that nashta prayeshu, abhadreshu, that, I can feel that many of my obstacles are naturally being removed by the hearing process. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Why? By at least daily hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Bhagavatyutama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. And then one comes to the position of being very steady in the practice of hearing and of practice doing devotional service itself. And then tada rajastamo bhava. This verse, tada means at this time there's a breakthrough, and therefore Bhagavat wants me to say it. He's coaching me from the back. There's a saying in America when somebody suddenly appears, or you want to make something appear, you say, ta-da! So there's a way in which, in one's diligent practice of hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam, then ta-da! Rajastamo bhava kamalubadayas chete iteranavisham. Suddenly, a miracle happens. It's really impossible to overcome the modes of material nature. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameviye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Krishna says they're impossible to overcome because they're part of my energy. They're divine, so we're no match for them. We cannot do it by stopgap measures. People have tried. In fact, I have a relative who read no less than 1,008 self-help books. Listened to at least 1,008 self-help audio cassettes. That was the era. I know this because I was invited to help clear out his belongings, which were not much except for his collection of self-help. And I realized that since he had passed away watching a baseball game in front of a chair and didn't have a progressive life either materially or spiritually. No offense, I hope if you're listening somewhere. I know he got some great benefit from being somewhat in contact with Krishna consciousness. That the self-help, even if somebody takes it seriously, is not sufficient to overcome the indelible markings of some scars that we get from this material world. However, the Srimad-Bhagavatam is that solvent which can cleanse the heart and of those seemingly indelible marks, or sometimes karmatmaka, it's called colorings. It's hard to take. If you've ever accidentally washed a dhoti, if you wear saffron, it's not as much of an issue, but one of the perils of becoming a grahastha is if you wear white and you accidentally throw a gamsha. Gamshas have probably more dye in them than any other cloth on earth. You can put them in a bucket and wash it 10 times by hand and it still turns the water red. And if you've ever thought, oh yeah, it's harmless, just throw it in. I've had it for 2 years, and then your white comes out pink. And then you'll never get it out. And that's the karmatmaka syndrome of the material world, that in contact with the modes of material nature, that tint is there always. But purifying factor, that's why it's such a big deal. Tada rajastamo bhava, kamalubadeyashe, chete ternavidam, stitam sattve prasidati. This stitam sattve, although we may correlate it with the idea of sattvagun, our acharyas say, no, this is shuddha sattva, visheshatma. There's a way in which all of the last vestiges of coloration that have come about by an association, our association with the modalities of the world since the time immemorial. It can be cleansed completely and come to the stitam sattve. Then you're situated in Shuddha Sattva, means beyond the touch of any of the modes of material nature. And from there, what is it? Evam prasanna manasom bhagavat bhakti yogata bhagavat tattva vijnana mukta sangha sajayate. There's a complete cognition of the truth. From those who are in that position, the mind becomes joyful. Prasannatma. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavat bhakti yogata. By direct connection with Krishna through this service of hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam. And then vidyate hridayagrantish, that there's a chidyante sarvashamshaya, all misgivings about who we are and what our relationship is with Krishna become clarified. Any last vestiges are cut. The connection to the material world. One becomes a liberated soul. So this is what Prabhupada wrote in his diary on the way to Boston Harbor, coming to America. Anyone who's gone out to preach Krishna consciousness. For instance, if you go out to distribute books, there's always a sense when we walk out the door of what's going to happen today. We just don't know. Imagine leaving your homeland and coming to a foreign land without support, except for Srila Prabhupada brought the Srimad-Bhagavatam with him. And just on the video today I was watching, Prabhupada's narrating and he's mentioning that he said it was very difficult. I didn't have any money. He said I didn't have any place to stay for a year in New York City. And he said everything was very expensive. But he brought his Bhagavatams and he was making the endeavor to distribute Srimad-Bhagavatam. Tato jayam udirayat, because it's the very means of conquest. So, I don't know what year it was, but we had a meeting at our house, at my house, and near Kulanmai's house. I guess start speaking English here. Every year, for many years, we've had a Sankirtan meeting on On January 1st, we'd meet and say, okay, how are we going to do it again? And in that meeting, I brought up the idea that we found this, I was looking at this verse, what do you think about that? The Bhadra Purnima, this could become a thing. And everyone was excited. It was as if there was a jewel sitting there all the time. And it was the first time we really noticed it because we had an eye to expand book distribution. Otherwise, you might just read it and say, oh yeah, another benediction from the Srimad-Bhagavatam. There's so many that we become jaded perhaps. And you just say, yeah, I'll take that one too. Another benediction, another benediction. But that one seemed purposeful, that it could be a place that were a marker for everyone to distribute Srimad-Bhagavatams. And the first 2 years, well, the first year, we put the word out to several people. I called my friend Bhima Prabhu in India, said, what do you think? And he goes, yeah, I think you got something here. Let's try it out. And a few places, devotees endeavored, and it was quite a spike, because from a world total of maybe 1,000 Bhagavatams a year, it went up to 7,000 that first year. But disappointingly, the next year it stayed at 7,000. And it's one thing I can't stand is plateaus. And so it was in Tirupati in 2019 at the plenary GBC meeting. The BBT was all there, members were there too, and we had a full meeting. And I made an announcement that our goal for 2020 was 10,000. which seemed implausible because it was a stretch to get to 7,000 the second year. We had no idea also that there was a looming pandemic. How could we? It was November of 2019. The whole thing didn't unfold until March of 2020. And then many people said, how are we going to reach even 7,000? What to speak of even 1,000? Maybe we'll just take a few months off and it'll probably blow over. Well, minus all the details, it turned out 2020 spiked to over 20,000 sets of Bhagavatams worldwide. Sometimes the devotees are rallied. But then we thought it was a fluke. And that's what we think every year. Because there's always some special circumstance where you can say, yeah, but we don't have that guy, such and such donated, or any number of things we can say. So we developed these mantras to keep ourselves going, and one of them is, assume it can be done. Because we realized that the difference between those who were successful and kept growing and the ones that weren't was an attitude. And that makes all the difference. And this can be applied to our lives as well. And Hare Krishna Tattva Swami, Vanchakalpadabhushya Kripasinabhe Vichapatitana Bhavani Bil Vaishnavebhyonam. Thank you very much for joining. So we came up with this mantra that assume it can be done, which we would preemptively mention whenever we start talking to anybody about it, because the natural default when we bring up anything that seems hard to do is to say why it can't be done. Have you ever noticed that? And especially with Bhagavatam, say, well, we already did it. We talked to everybody last year. Nobody else take a Bhagavatam set. Or, we live in such and such a place. I think Krishna arranged this pandemic to show that in circumstances that are impossible, we do better. That's a revelation. It's something that I heard my godbrother Mahatma Prabhu say, this is what we do in the Hare Krishna movement. We make the impossible possible by Lord Chaitanya's grace. And so then it happened again in 2021, another spike. And now we're measuring all over the world, and our goal is by 2026 to have the capacity worldwide to distribute at least 100,000 sets of Srimad-Bhagavatams in 1 year. So get ready. Tell your kids they're going to go to community college and not Ivy League. Unless they want to sell snow cones to make up for it. And we'll be buying Toyota and not Tesla. Because whatever it takes, we're going to do 100,000 sets in 2026. So today is Bhadra Purnima, and what a lovely day it is. It's also a day which is especially calls for us to do some pious activity. Krishna himself arranged to go to Kurukshetra, place of pilgrimage and a place for sacrifice, everybody knows, because there was an eclipse of the sun, and he went there to perform religious duties. Well, guess what? Not only is it Bhadra Purnima, but it's also an eclipse of the moon tonight, which raises the stakes from what we've understood from talking to pundits around the planet. We've made some research this morning. They say it increases the auspicity of this particular Bhadra Purnima by about 10,000 times. It means normally when you sponsor a set of Bhagavatams on Bhadra Purnima, you get the benediction of going back home, back to Godhead. Today is Bhadra Purnima, but it's also an eclipse of the moon. It may not happen for thousands of years. This is one of those opportunities that comes unsought, like the turtle coming up out of the depths of the ocean. It just happens there's a log floating with a knothole, and its head comes up precisely in the knothole when he comes up for air. That's one of those nights tonight. And therefore, we feel blessed. And I'll just say that I've been thinking recently about how success is about opportunity. It's having the intelligence to take advantage of opportunity. You don't have to have a higher IQ than most people. If you have a better plan than a genius, you can outsmart a genius. And the best plan is to follow whatever Krishna says and whatever the Shastra says, and just take that. Don't overthink anything. Just say, if Krishna offered it and he says this is the benediction, as Srimad-Bhagavatam offers, just take it. Keep things simple. Occam's razor means the simplest solution, the simplest explanation is usually the best. But when it comes to spiritual matters, when we have a sense of opportunity, many people in India know this. That's why in Kumbh Mela, there's an exact time when they go in the water for the Kumbh Mela. And on Kadashi, I remember just being astounded one morning living in Vrindavan and staying in the Goshala, and we were driving in an old ambassador car that my godbrother had and drove. That was a bad idea. We drive every morning to Govardhan Hill to do our parikram early in the morning. And one morning, we had left so early to try to make it over there at a decent time. It was 2:30 in the morning, and the streets of Vrindavan were already packed with people. And I said, what is going on? He said, oh, Kadashi. And people who are spiritually wise, there's IQ, there's emotional intelligence, and there's spiritual intelligence. That's the best, spiritual intelligence. And that spiritual intelligence means I see an opportunity, labvam sadurlabam idam bahusam bhavante, manusham artantam anityam apihadhira. The Bhagavatam says, here you go, little jiva. You just got the biggest opportunity in the universe, and that is that after many births, labvam sadurlabam idam, it's something that's very difficult to achieve, you can achieve in this one lifetime, although your life is temporary, admittedly, and it's a material body. We'll admit that too. We gave you a material body. But you can turn it into the highest reward and attain the highest destination in the seeming form of life. And so, human life, then there's the early morning hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes before sunrise in the Brahma Muhurta. People take advantage of that. You look at them and say, what happened to you? I just get up early and I chant the Guru Vashtakam prayers, would say, Srimad Guru Ashtakam etad uchar brahme muhurte patita prayatna yastena vrindavanananta sakshat sevaiva lavya janasanta eva. What does it say? It says, if you get up early during the Brahma Muhurta and sing this prayer, then you'll go back to God this lifetime. And there's a story about a little boy who showed up at the Gaudiya Mat, and all the elders there, sannyasis, most of them, were wondering what this little boy was doing at a Mangalartik suddenly. And they asked him, he said, I heard somebody recite this verse, and they explained it to me that if you come and sing this at the Brahma Muhurta time, then you go back to Godhead. They took him to meet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It turned out the boy had walked miles, kilometers from his village. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, get him a bicycle. And that's what happens when we try to take advantage of the opportunities, is that Krishna will give us more facility to do that. And that's the only kind of facility that counts in this world, because any other kind of facility that's not connected to taking advantage of the great opportunities of going back to Godhead and improving one spiritually is simply crushing. It's disappointing, but even worse, it's crushing, because whatever we get that's not connected to Krishna becomes an excruciatingly painful burden to us. So today we can rejoice because I mean, practically we can enjoy almost every day. But this is outrageously fantastic. The Bhadra Purnima opportunity, because it comes once a year. It's united devotees all over the world around the distribution of Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's the most thrilling thought when we were driving down the 101 freeway to get here today, and I was getting texts every 5 seconds from different parts of the Romapad Maharaj is writing me from Badrinath. And he wrote and said, I did 110 sets up here today. Last week we had tried to get him to come on and give a cameo appearance, and he said, I'm in Badrinath. I said, don't you have satellite internet up there? I was just joking, and he took me seriously. And then he just wrote in and said, I did 110 sets. Naperville was over 500, 520, and growing. They're still going. Go Naperville. People are reporting here, there, and everywhere. There's a special event going on within the special event of Bhadra Purnima, and that is called the GKG 5000. It's fashioned after the Indianapolis 500. We used a similar logo because His Holiness's last visit to the United States, during that time, he had visited Naperville, and the devotees had very triumphantly announced to him that they had pledges for 400 sets of Bhagavatams for the upcoming Bhadra Purnima. And Maharaj, in his usual style, looked up and said, why not 5,000? That's the Krishna consciousness movement. It's, let's go for the really big thing. That's what Prabhupada did. Otherwise, we get bored and just slump into bureaucracy and wonder about who's in charge of what. We need something to charge us towards the kinds of goals that Prabhupada especially emphasized. There are many, but top amongst them, one might successfully argue, was book distribution. Successfully because there's so much evidence of that. It's unassailable. So on the day of Bhadra Purnima that we have now, we're fortunate to be here observing it, beginning of Kali Yuga, and now we felt, as we're driving down the 101 freeway, we're hearing about these breakthroughs. In fact, Shamahini and team up in Toronto, Canada, had been in great anxiety the last time we were there, which was a few weeks ago, because they hadn't reached their goal yet, and there was going to be a direct hit with the TOVP. So we had conversations about it, and I said, well, try to get all the pledges you can before Prajna Vilas Prabhu gets there. And also try to make an armistice so that you work together. And bless their hearts, the TOVP enlightened leaders added Srimad-Bhagavatam into their repertoire of gifts that they gave out for people. I don't know what level they got Bhagavatams, but I think just from the collections of TOVP, they did 11 Bhagavatams. But besides that, they were still down by at least 80, and they had no idea how they were going to make it up. I got at least 10 texts from Shamohini, and they're ecstatic tests. She never uses exclamation points. But they were you could tell that in spiritual accomplishment, reaching a spiritual goal, especially the distribution of transcendental literature, is so edifying. There's nothing else like it. You do a few Govardhan parikrams and you feel this sense of elation. But the book distribution yagya means you can experience that 24 hours a day, because you're either out there doing it or you're thinking of how to do it and how to increase it. And then there's a kind of samadhi in that all you think about is reading the Bhagavatam and distributing the Bhagavatam. And that's not a bad place to live. What do you think? Ananya cheta satatam yomam smanati nityashaha tasyaham sulabha partha Nityayuktasya yogina. Krishna says if you get into that kind of samadhi of thinking about how to do some service for Krishna and then hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam, then he said, I'm very easy to achieve. Having said all this, there's an opportunity now for us to give away Bhagavatam on a golden throne. So we've studied this minutely. Not only is this the day, but also giving away on the golden throne means that the book comes off the golden throne and you take it. It comes on a golden throne, you take it off and you take it home. Even if you don't have a golden throne, who's ever listening at home, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that it's the sun during the Bhadra Purnima month that creates the effulgent throne for the Srimad-Bhagavatam. Whatever way you look at it, we got it covered. So don't worry about it. So we're going to, you tell us what we're going to do.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Since you were talking about the video that was made this morning, I don't know how many devotees have seen that video. Maybe since it's just 2 minutes, we can start off with that video. And after that, what we wanted to do is we want to line up all the devotees who already sponsored and wanted to receive a set from His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu, and some devotees who want to also give. So you can join Vaisesika Prabhu and Nirakula Mataji, so you can give along with them to the recipients. And if you just want to receive, that's also an opportunity. We can have a lineup here. And then His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and Her Grace Nirakula Mataji will be here to give out the Bhagavatam on a golden throne. We have the golden thrones here, if you can see. So when you come up here, take the book from Prabhu, but leave the throne. Because as His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu was mentioning that you're supposed to receive a book, but not the throne itself, give away the throne itself. So that's why you can take the book and leave the throne with Prabhu, and we can continue with that. And some of the devotees have mentioned that they also would like to sponsor because they were holding for today. So if you are one of those, then in intervals maybe we can pause. You can raise your hand or something to let us know, and then we can continue. And if you're watching online somewhere, if you want to sponsor, you can text 408-515-5292. Text, WhatsApp, call, whatever you'd like to do. Number again is 408-515-5292. So right now we can start with the video. Is the video with Prabhupada in it? We can turn off the lights.
So after publishing 3 parts, Srimad-Bhagavatam, then automatically Guru Maharaj gave me indication that now you can start for America.
Are you crazy? The old man, you are going to die. Who will look after you? What will you do then?
At the age of 70 years, for 1 year I had no place to live. I took some of my books, Srimad-Bhagavatam, and I was personally selling these books to the booksellers and to the persons anyway, with great difficulty. New York is a very expensive city for an unknown man.
And we're conducting the Bhadra Purnima campaign, that is, all of us, all over the world, from the top down and from the bottom up. And I'm humbly requesting everyone to take this opportunity, which is stated in the Srimad-Bhagavatam, to be so rewarding that by distributing one Bhagavatam set on Bhadra Purnima, one gets the benefit of going back to the Supreme Abode. Please distribute at least one Srimad-Bhagavatam set for Bhadra Purnima, and either sponsor one, buy one for yourself, get one for your friends or your parents or somebody on your block. But please take the initiative and distribute at least one set of Srimad-Bhagavatams for Bhadra Purnima. Thank you very much for considering my request, and may Lord Chaitanya shower you with his blessings. Hare Krishna.
So let me try at least. It is better late than never.
Wow, that was an amazing video. I think I might have watched this at least 20 times today. Still not satisfied. So now we will just do the setup in just 2 minutes, and then if you wanted to receive a Bhagavatam set or if you want to give, if you can please line up here. That will help us to see how much time we need. And in the meanwhile, if you would like to If you'd like to sponsor a set, as I mentioned, 408-515-5292. And I also already got a message from His Holiness Ritadvaja Swami Maharaj that he would like to sponsor one set of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Oh, or Maharaj was asking what is the price. I'm sorry, Maharaj. What's up? So a price of a Bhagavatam set, if you would like to sponsor for USA, is $250. And if it is outside of USA, it's $200. So Maharaj was just asking the price. So but still Maharaj will take whatever text message that you get as blessing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Vatsal Prabhu want to sponsor one set. So
Haribo.
Haribo.
So those who are receiving, please you can form a line there. Haribo.
Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. copy.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, we received an announcement from Balimardhan Prabhu and Ananda Mataji. They want to sponsor one Bhagavatam set and they asked me to take a set. I'll take it later. Haribo!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Sorry to interrupt the kirtan, but devotees are sending in text messages. We wanted to announce them at intervals. So, Ritadvaja Maharaj, finally, I'm sorry Maharaj earlier, but he said he wants to sponsor 4 sets in USA. And there is an anonymous donation. They want to sponsor 2 sets. It doesn't mention if it is USA or India, so I would take it as USA. Okay.
Go. Vicky would like to sponsor 1 set.
Haribo!
And Bhakta team would like to sponsor 1 set for USA. Go ahead. Yeah. Prabhu would like to sponsor 1 set. I can't.
Haribo!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Okay, Divya Kumari and Achita Kumar Aradhya would like to sponsor 1 set for the whole ISV and 1 set for their family back in India.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna.
Okay, Braja is sponsoring one set for her grandparents. Haribo, Sadhu and Braja.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Raghunath would like to sponsor one set for USA.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Madhav Prem Prabhu would like to sponsor 5 sets for USA.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gopinath Prabhu, Ranot, Hare Krishna. My brother Sri Raman, he is in Hyderabad. He works with Radhesham Prabhu. Welcome, Prabhu. My name is Sri Krishna Purushottam. Prabhuji, we want to give you Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Nidhi would like to sponsor one set for India.
Hare Hare.
We have a generous donor who would like to sponsor 10 sets for Pakistan and one for US.
Hare Krishna. Radha Gopinath Prabhu is here from Chaupati, and myself and Sukeshwari Mataji want to do sponsor one set so that Prabhu can give it to anybody else or for Prabhu itself. 1 second, Mataji wants.
I want to thank His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu I want to sponsor a set on his name. He's my Pata Pradakshaka Guru. I am here because of him. He got me into Krishna consciousness. This is the least I can do to Prabhu. And Damodar Prabhu, please, please, both of you.
Rasika would like to sponsor on the occasion of Bhadra Purnima one for Govind Charan for USA.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thanks, Mataji.
Ekta Mataji. Ekta Mataji would like to sponsor one set for African countries for his kid Rayansh.
Sukhmandar would like to sponsor one set for Damodar Prabhu. Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Damodar Prabhu, you have a fan here.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Tadiya Seva Prabhu would like to sponsor one for Pakistan.
Hare Krishna. Those who are listening online, we also have a new venue, Pakistan. Anybody would like to sponsor, they can text Malini Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Govind Prabhu would like to sponsor 29 sets on behalf of Vrindavan Mellows, Kirtan Mellows.
Haribo.
Rasamrita Shesha Prabhu and Palika Mataji, one set for USA. Rubin would like to sponsor one set for Mexico.
Narendra Darla, who just came on Janmashtami to ISV, would like to sponsor one set for India. Kennedy would like to sponsor one set on behalf of Rosine for Fiji. Sakshi would like to sponsor one set of Bhagavatam for USA. Parth and Heli would like to sponsor one set for Pakistan. Radhakripa Prabhu would like to sponsor one set on behalf of his in-laws. Haribol! Okay.
Aradhika and Nikunj Nayak Prabhu would like to sponsor 4 sets for USA.
Okay. This is from Kaushik. They would like to sponsor 5 sets for USA.
Nam Smaran Prabhu, 4 sets for Pakistan. Okay, Vijay Damodar would like to announce his father's name.
So one set for Pakistan from my fathers, late Jaswant Singh Nama, and one for my father-in-law, late Madhupati Keshav Das Prabhu.
Haribol!
So basically 2 sets for Pakistan. Yes.
Ekachakra Pran Prabhu would like to sponsor one set for USA. Adinath Krishna Prabhu would like to sponsor one set for China and one set for Russia.
One for US. Diti Thakur, 2 sets for USA because her mother got initiated by Radhanath Swami Maharaj in Mumbai. Haribo!
So whenever we announce us sponsoring a set, you can help by putting your arms up and say Haribol.
Okay. Ramani wants to sponsor 5 sets for outside USA. For her, this is for her Dada, His Grace Bhagavata Ashraya Prabhu's 74th birthday. This message is from, I don't know their name, but they want to sponsor 4 sets of Srimad-Bhagavatam for USA on behalf of their son Agastya Sharma. Haribo!
That's from Akash Sharma. Akash Sharma, 4 sets.
Are we done with the...
2 sets from Gauranga Prabhu.
Haribo!
My dad would like to sponsor 1 set for India.
Haribo! His name, Mataji. Jai Haribo! All dads tune up to the channel.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Everyone received your set?
Rama, Rama, Rama.
Okay.
Priya Mataji. Hansapriya Mataji. You please take. Yes. Haribo!
If you have already sponsored before, you can come and receive your books now too.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Amruta is visiting first time to the temple, and Vijay Damodar Prabhu's mother is gifting them a set.
Haribo!
One should learn from
Hare
them how to time to come to temple.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Like South America.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Currently,
Rama.
pipelines, South America, Ukraine, South America. All pipelines are now open. Pakistan, the villages of India. Our devotees are traveling at this time in various vehicles, including Bullock, Peacock, going to villages. Whatever books you sponsor, go out through the pipelines immediately to reach their destinations, where people are looking down the road wondering, when will Nitai, Gaur, and the Srimad-Bhagavatam come and melt our hearts and take us back to Godhead? Let's cover the whole earth, make it a lifetime endeavor to make sure that everybody in the world, in every language, gets the Srimad-Bhagavatam. If you agree with this proposition, please say Haribol.
Haribo!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Divya Drashti would like to sponsor 1 set for Pakistan.
Haribo!
And payment sent through Zelle. Navina Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Navina Krishna Prabhu. Okay, Sophie would like to sponsor 4 sets. Let me, hold on. Yeah, Sophie would like to sponsor 4 sets. She has not mentioned where, but will. Thank you, Sophie. Haribo!
Haribo!
Just got a call from Bhavana Manoj Gupta. She would like to sponsor 1 set for USA.
Haribo!
And just got a message from Raseshwari Leela that Nitai would like to sponsor 1 set of Bhagavatam for South America.
Haribo!
Sonia, come take. Sonia and Praveen would like to sponsor 1 set for Pakistan.
Haribo!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Preeti Mataji would like to sponsor one set of Bhagavatam for Madhu Mataji.
Haribol.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
If you have sponsored earlier and didn't get a chance to take the Bhagavatam from His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu and Nirakula Mataji, this is your chance. This is the last chance, I would say. So please come up.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna. Starting tomorrow, our December marathon starts. So this is the last chance for Bhadra Purnima.
Santosh and Shalini would like to sponsor one set for Pakistan.
Haribol! More Pakistan. Jai Balram, Haribol!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Your name?
Anyone has a friend who doesn't have a Bhagavatam, please come forward and receive a Bhagavatam set from us.
Hare Krishna, we have Satish here. You want to sponsor 2 sets of Srimad-Bhagavatam to USA. Haribol!
Is anyone in this room who doesn't have a Bhagavatam? I mean, who haven't received one today already? Also. Everybody has Bhagavatam. Jai. So Pankaj Prabhu would like to sponsor one set of Bhagavatam on behalf of his father and one set on behalf of his in-laws. Haribol!
USA. USA.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rohini, Vishwapati Prabhu and Rupashri Mataji would like to sponsor one set for Bangladesh.
Haribol!
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Okay. Pushpa would like to sponsor one set for her in-laws and set for Pakistan.
Radha Kripa Prabhu would like to sponsor one set of Srimad-Bhagavatam on behalf of his sisters. Haribol! Koladvipa Prana Prabhu would like to sponsor one set of Srimad-Bhagavatam for Bangladesh on behalf of his sister's family.
Haribol! I'd like to sponsor one set for our own dear Ramananda Saka Prabhu. Haribol! Haribo.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Haribo.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama.
Sugopi Soumya Mataji would like to sponsor 1 set for South America and 2 sets for India.
Haribo.
Uday Shri Mataji would like to sponsor 5 sets to India.
Haribo.
Pushpa, earlier sponsor for her in-laws, now she's sponsoring for her parents, for India.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Bhagavad Pran Prabhu would like to sponsor 1 set for South America.
Haribo.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
So,
I would like to sponsor 1 more set for Bhagavata Ashraya Prabhu on the most auspicious occasion of his appearance day today.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
You can take a set, bro.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Haribo.
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Sophie Mataji would like to sponsor 4 sets for USA.
Haribo.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
It's not like Vaisesika Prabhu needs a Bhagavatam set, but his Tithi birthday is on not next week, following Tuesday. So he gets a Bhagavatam, my birthday gift to you.
Haribo.
It's eclipse.
Jai. Haribo.
Hare Krishna,
Haribo.
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Okay. Venudhari Gopinath Prabhu, not Venudhari Gopal Prabhu, Venudhari Gopinath Prabhu, who moved to ISVs from Singapore, got 1 set for himself and he sponsored 5 sets for India. So total 6 sets.
Haribo.
Lavanya, Alaramlu and Sahitya took 1 set each from Bhagavatam class today.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama.
There is a lunar eclipse going on now. It's very, very auspicious to take a set. So please come forward. Only chance is next 10 minutes. Haribo.
This is Balaram Vilas Prabhu, Harita Mataji and Anirudh. They would like to sponsor 2 sets to... They didn't... Oh, 2 sets for India.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nikunja Sundari Mataji sponsored 5 sets for India. Priyanka Mataji sponsored 2 sets for outside the US. Nirguna Mataji sponsored 1 set for outside the US. Gopal Prabhu sponsored 1 set for outside the US.
Haribo! Haribo!
Okay, towards the GKG 5000, the California GKG, they are working on 30 sets from Palika Lakshmi. I just saw her.
Haribol! Rasamrita Prabhu is here. He can come.
25 sets from Yashoda Priya.
Haribol!
6 sets from Venudhari Gopinath Prabhu.
Haribol!
Then 5 sets from Daivi Kumari Mataji.
Haribol!
And then 5 sets from Tarini for GKG 5000.
Haribol!
This is really huge. This is amazing.
Hey, we have a special, very special one. Ramananda Sakha Prabhu would like to sponsor 1 set for Krishangi Mataji.
Haribol!
1 set from Radhika Prema for US. Haribo.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribol!
And Ananda just wrote 65 sets from our family as of now towards the GKG 5000.
Haribol!
Okay, this is from Nilamani Krishna Chandra Prabhu. It's a long announcement. So he would like to sponsor 2 sets in memory and benefit of his paternal grandparents. These are all for USA, by the way. And 2 sets in memory and benefit for maternal grandparents. And 2 sets for benefit of his parents. And 2 sets for the benefit of Shraddhavati's parents. And 1 set in memory of Her Grace Gandharvika Mataji.
Haribol!
So total 9 sets.
Jai Haribol!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Venudhari Gopal Prabhu would like to sponsor 1 set on behalf of his parents for India.
Okay, Sophie wants to clarify this 4 sets she sponsored. 1 was for Vaisesika Prabhu, his early birthday present. Another one for Nirakula Mataji. 1 for Shraddha Amma. And 1 for Ramananda. And now she's sponsoring 5th set for me.
So Aparna Gaurangi Mataji, Apara, sorry. She is giving a set to Srinivas, Abhinaya, so they want to take.
This message is from Shweta. She wants to sponsor 2 sets to India and 2 sets to Pakistan. So total 4 sets.
Haribol!
Okay, this message is from Bhavana and Manoj Gupta Cupertino, and they want to sponsor 1 set of Srimad-Bhagavatam.
Haribol!
Oh, this message is from Vicky. Her mom, Robin, would like to sponsor 1 set for USA.
Haribol!
Vicky, please come take for your mother.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This message is from Sukadeva Gauranga Prabhu. He wants to sponsor 3 sets for Prema Kishori Mataji's mom, Sita Lakshmi, for recovery of her open heart surgery.
Haribol!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
This message is from Anuradha Mataji. She would like to sponsor Anuradha Navina Devidasi. She would like to sponsor one set for the ISV family.
Haribo.
Anuradha Nunna also sponsored 2 sets towards the GKG 5000.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Premanande, Nitai Gaur Haribol, Haribol. Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Well, you really did it this time, everybody. Yeah, it'll never end. Keep going.
Shyam Bhakti Prabhu for GKG 5000. It's a 1 set for USA.
After having seen Ramananda Roy's Bhagavatam set when we visited his home, and noticing that it was written on palm leaves and rolled up, we had a visceral reaction seeing it. That we were standing in front of the most transcendental object. And now when we hear of sets going out around the world, it's something where we can hardly imagine the journey of the Bhagavatam and what its influence will be in someone's home. Just this afternoon, Bhadra Sutta Mataji was telling me that one of the recipients in Washington, D.C. had remarked that putting the set in her home was like the Bhagavad Sapta. And so we wanted to rename that as a new process called the Bhagavat 365. Because no longer is it just a sapta, But once people have their own set of Bhagavatams, which is would have been quite implausible at the time when Ramananda Roy had his set of Bhagavatams written on palm leaves, such a rarity it would be to have a set. And now the confluence of circumstances by which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur recognized the best of the Industrial Revolution and imported printing presses all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, to be sent to Calcutta, to be turned on and running 24/7 to print literature and passed on the same mood to his disciple, Abhay Charanaravinda, who became the great Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and said, I took it from my spiritual master's mouth that he liked books, and therefore I'm continuing. Go ahead. So, this event that's occurring now, we're all part of. This is real. We're part of this process of dissemination that was not only envisioned but sincerely desired by the great acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So we feel in solidarity, all of us, that we're able to participate in this way. And we're feeling, of course, united all over the world. Our vision is to have one world team, and that every town and village means every language. We have so much more work to do to cover the earth, but these are good starts, getting to a baseline of 100,000 by 2026. And tonight you can see how once the fire starts, it's hard to put it out. And Prabhupada once said, the fire has already started. They can bring big fire brigades and try to put it out, but it'll continue. And he also said, the brainwash books are already out. It's too late. So if anyone ever feels helpless and they want to do something for themselves and for the world, we don't have to look further than the Srimad-Bhagavatam, which Prabhupada gave us as a medicinal remedy for all that it ails us and all that ails the world. And it feels really great to be all here together tonight. Thank you for coming out for this. It's a really special holiday. Lots of people come for Janmashtami, Radhashtami, and now we've got a new holiday, Bhadra Purnima. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out. We've got more scores rolling in from various places.
Yeah. Just to clarify Sophie's donation earlier, one was for His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu, one was for Her Grace Nirakula Mataji, one for Ramananda Saka Prabhu, one for Shraddha Mataji, and one for Hansapriya. So total 5. Oh. And for the close, we have... Sukeshwari would like to sponsor one set.
Anyone who doesn't have a set here, who just walked in last few minutes, she wanted to check. Does anyone not have these books in your home? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be here till midnight, 11:59 and 59 seconds.
Okay. So Sukeshwari wants to sponsor one for Vaisesika Prabhu and Nirakula Mataji.
Haribo! Either way. Cute. Golden throne. Yeah. Here. Picture, please. Go. Hare Krishna.
Okay. There's one last one, or a big one, I would say. This is from Yashoda Priya Mataji and Achyuta Balaram Prabhu. They would like to sponsor 30 sets for India.
Right.
And this will be counted towards the GKG 5,000 goal.
Haribo!
I wonder where they are. I mean,
at Google.
Easily Highness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki Jai.
And if you have sponsored today, you got one book as a sample, but if you can pick up the entire set today. It's an auspicious day. We'll have your sets available outside. You can pull up your cars and take your sets. And if you like to finish your payments today, we have this kiosk here. You can pay with your credit card, or we can give you instructions to pay via Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo.
And eclipse is for another hour and a half, so it's very auspicious time to make a payment.
Sharirat Vijaja Jodendriya Taheka Jibe Pele Vishayasha Gaye Dharma Jivayati Loba Moisu Durmati Chake jeta katita shanshare Krishna Bodha doyamai Gori bare jihvajai Shapusha Annadi lobai Shayana Vritapao Radha Krishna Gunagan Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Vihita Preme Dako Shri Chaitanya Vihita Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Pranadi Vaishnave Sapa Punya Bhatam Rajan Vishwaso Nagajayate Prasade Sarva Tikhanam Manirasyo Pajayate Prasana Cheta Yashu Vipaya Vistate Tvayopa Bhikta Sruganda Vasamantara Charchita Chishta Bojino Dasas Davamayam Jayanahi Chuksham Parishikam Bhati Nityam Bhagavad Bhakti Matrena Bhuktavyan Natakala Visharanana Desha Niyamastatrana Kala Niyamastatra Bhaktamanam Dusham Shishte Bhuktavyan Hari Abrade Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasadiki Go Premanande Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo
Sorry, there's one last that came in. Didn't want to miss this. This is from Nilachal Chandra Mataji. She would like to sponsor one set for India in memory of Nitai Kirtan Prabhu's mom. Kent Prabhu would like to sponsor one set for USA.
Go back to Kent.
Okay, Brajapati Prabhu from LA, 28 sets Bhagavatam for, I don't know for where, but towards the GKG. Riva!
I don't believe that's it. I'll believe it when I see it. Is it really it? It's not it. Krishna 10, Krishna 9, Krishna 8, Krishna 7, Krishna 6, Krishna 5, Krishna 4, Krishna 3, Krishna 2, Krishna 1, Krishna .5. Vanchakalpadrishya kripas. Please come take prasadam, and please take your Bhagavatam sets and then read them every day. The more capacity we have, so every year it can become expanded. And the GKG 5000, I think, is an annual.
Hare Krishna, today's prasadam is cooked by Arjuna Prana Prabhu and Sudavi Mataji.